Oh, 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 oh my. Ooh. All right, Mob Beauty, you're a hit. Hey guys, let's shop my stash for February and base our choices on energy level. We'll do a little review on the products that I picked for January. Did I make good choices for my energy level or not? Then we'll go through my vanity, pick out products for the month of February, and do a get ready with me. If we haven't met before, I'm Donna. Welcome to Fibro Fury Beauty. I am a chronically ill, makeup-loving geek. I am in no way, shape, or form an expert in makeup, but I am an expert in being forced to live a low-energy lifestyle. Beauty content on YouTube has really provided me with a distraction and a lot of comfort on bad flare days, and I want to share some of that comfort back with you guys. So if that sounds good to you, I'd love for you to stick around, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button before you leave. Now let's take a look at some of the products that I used in January Shop My Stash, and if I was successful in choosing them according to my energy level. Okay, so this was the Shop My Stash for January. My goal was to keep things very low energy. For February, I think I'm ready to do a little bit more. I didn't do my makeup very often in January. I didn't have a lot of energy, but I did use almost everything in here. I have a nice dent going in my Salt and Stone. Which one is this? Saffron and Cedar. This is a really nice scent. I love that, but I'm going to rotate this out. It's going to be time for a new one, so I'll put that back. One declutter is going to be the e.l.f. Roll and Lash Mascara. I love this formula. It's, to me, the only descriptive word I can think of is it's like a rubberized formula, and it really sticks to each lash. My only problem is every mascara I use smudges on me, and this one is no exception. Doesn't mean that it will smudge on you. I haven't found a mascara yet that doesn't smudge on me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or how to eliminate that. If anybody has any suggestions, put it in the comments because I would love to know what to do. I would recommend this one other than it smudges on me. This one is going to be a declutter. This one is past its prime and expired, so we're going to get rid of that one. My top favorites from the month of January. The MAC Strobe Cream in Bronzolite. The Strobe Cream is not too intense. I used this a number of days in January and really liked it. It gave my skin a nice glow. I don't look like a Tin Man, so I feel confident going out in public with this. Lots of days I just use this as my base, so I really liked that one, but time to rotate that out. What I did not use was the NYX concealer. Oh, my foundation, the MAC Face and Body, isn't in here because I'm getting ready to do a foundation declutter video, so that's moved into a separate pile for right now, but I did use that quite a bit, and I used the Cicapair once, and that was fine. Everything else I used a few times, even the brow gel, which I was surprised about because I'm not a brow person, but I did use the brow gel. And I did make, I think, some good progress on the Makeup by Mario lip gloss in the shade Bear. So I'm pleased with that. So a couple things that will stay in the tray at all times are the MAC Fix Plus Magic Radiance. Before I put on any makeup, I use this to rehydrate my face. This isn't a necessity, but I really like it. I also keep my Frizz Tamer from Garnier. This works really, really well. I've tried a deodorant stick one, but it doesn't work as well as this one, I find. This one I can really get the stray hairs, and only the stray hairs, and not give like a flattened look to the rest of the top of my head. So that always stays in here. I like to use that for videos. And then my Refi Eye Balm Cream. I use this to give a little bit more hydration to my under eyes before I put on makeup sometimes. And everything else I used at least once. Okay, so let's put away all this stuff and we'll shop my stash for February. Okay, so for February, I think I have a little bit more energy. There have been products that I've been thinking about and missing, so that's a good sign. That tells me my interest is a little higher in makeup, hopefully for this month. So this is the drawer that I've got primers, setting sprays, color correctors. These two setting sprays are also here. I have a bit of a overflow. I'm gonna keep these ones out, I think. This one has leaked in other packaging. This one has leaked on me before, so I'm gonna keep this upright. I'm gonna set those over to the side. For setting sprays, I have a tiny little bit left in this MAC Fix Plus one, and I think actually what I'm gonna do, I can't get it to come out anymore without like it really spitting on my face. So I think I've got enough space in this one now. I'm just going to add that one and consider this one in empty. I'd like to use this Milani Make It Last. This one has a natural finish setting spray. I don't care for this one. It really does help the longevity of your makeup, which is fantastic, but I don't like how it feels. It sort of smells like hairspray. The application is nice, like the spray is good. I just don't like how it feels and smells. So I would like to kind of use this one up. So we'll put that one in here. I think we'll try out the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. This one, the mister, is absolutely amazing. It really is a really super, it says shockingly fine mist. I had no idea that said that. It is very shockingly a fine mist, super fine mist. It's a biphase, so there's like an oil in it as well, so you have to shake it up. This one is very dewy. I'm going to use this one more to melt my layers in between so things look more natural, but it is kind of dewy, so keep that in mind. If you're looking for something dewy, I would recommend this setting spray. Otherwise, you might find it a bit too dewy. We're going to use those two setting sprays for the month. Color corrector. I think I'll use the e.l.f. Putty Color Corrector Correcting Eye Brightener for under the eye. I can use this as a one and done. The pink shade works half decent under my eyes that I wouldn't have to put a concealer on if I didn't want to. I could just use this as a brightening one, but I'm going to use this as an eye brightener and a bit of a concealer for under the eyes. Color corrector, I mean, for under the eyes, not concealer. So we'll put that in here. I could use the Makeup Forever Redness Primer and then maybe pick another one that's not a color corrector, but a different kind of primer. So let's do that. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever, the Redness Color Corrector, and one more for the face. I already used that. I'm going to use the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This one I do really like. I've been back and forth on my feelings on this one, but it's like a putty. You sort of press it into your pores and it really does a good job of blurring pores. I really like that. One of my 25 days advent calendar videos, I used this and I totally forgot to put a foundation on. My skin looked that good. You do have to be careful when you put a foundation on that you're not moving this around once you've pressed it in, but I think that's what I'll go for. And then the only other thing I'm going to pick from here is, because it's been on my mind, is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Mine's in the shade Too Fair, and this I find is a bit too Tin Man-y and I have to be very strategic with it. But what's been on my mind is using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk blush wand that I have and mixing some of this in with it. So not necessarily as a face highlighter at all, but or primer, but to mix in with the blush to give a glow. So that's what I want to do. Okay, so that's everything in that drawer. So this is going to be the eyeshadow one. I think what I want to use for a palette is, I got this for Christmas from themobbeauty. I haven't used it yet. Well, I'll open it up so I can show you. Ugh. I love these colors. They're just gorgeous. So this was a collaboration done with Miss Megan Robinson, who's a makeup artist, and she's on YouTube, has a YouTube channel. This one is called Echo. This one is called Sneak, and it's a Sparkle Bomb formula, which I don't know what that means yet. This one is Reverb. This one is Taxi. So I love those colors. They're kind of muted, gray, a bit grungy. So I'm super excited to use these. So I'm gonna pull this palette out for February. And then let's pick a couple of single shadows. I think I want to use this About Face one, and it's just called an eye gloss. Brilliant, I think, is the name. It's a vinyl effect. It's just clear. It's like you put lip gloss, clear lip gloss on your eyes. Does it sometimes make your mascara smudge? Yeah, but it just gives a super glossy effect to the eye, and I like that look sometimes. So, and I think that might be fun to play around with, adding as a bit of a highlight under the brow bone with the themobbeauty eyeshadow. So I'm going to try that. Let's do just another kind of one and done. I'm going to use this one. This is the Armani eye tint in the shade 22M, which I think is Cashew, but it's 22M anyway. This is an easy liquid eyeshadow, so easy for just a one and done, and blend it out a little bit and don't have to worry. So this can be a nice low energy one. And next we'll move on to some brow products. So this is my little brow dish. I do have something I haven't tried before that I'd like to test. This is a fiber gel from MAC. Taupe is the shade. I'm hoping this color is going to be half decent, and I'm into testing something new for February, so we'll try that for the brows. Actually, I don't know if the color is the same, but if I just look at sort of the e.l.f. Wow Brow one that I got, that band sort of looks like the same color as the product, and that e.l.f. one I really do like. Ooh, you know what? I'd like a black eyeliner. This is Feline Eye Kohl Control from MAC to go with that Mob Beauty eyeshadow palette. I think that would look really good when I want a tight line or put something in my waterline. And the other one I'll put in is going to be the Makeup Forever Artist Resist Color Pencil. This is in the shade 5 Bronze. It's sort of like a khaki green. All right, so I think that's it for that. So let's pick a mascara. I'm definitely interested in using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. It's a tubing mascara. I really like this for my lower lashes. So that might be a good one. And that's a waterproof one. I don't feel like scrubbing at my eyelashes too hard. I'm going to pull out the MAC Elevates mascara in black and the lash primer. I think I'm going to do some testing and see how the MAC Elevates works as far as smudging goes, which I think it does smudge on me, and then compare it with when I use the lash primer to see if there's less smudging or flaking. And if I don't have the energy, I'll just use the mascara and I won't bother with the primer. Okay, so that's going to go in there. And that's everything on this side of the vanity. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to pull out are some foundations, and my foundation container is usually in this drawer, but I've got it moved over, anticipating a declutter video. One foundation that I've been missing and thinking about has been the Haus Labs, so I'm definitely going to be using this one for the month of February, so that's going to go in here. The other one is the Merit Complexion Stick. I have mine in 2 shades, Linen, which is a lighter shade, and Bisque, which is a more medium shade. This one might be more of my summer shade. There's one in between here that I think might actually be the best match for me. For concealer, because I'm using the Haus Labs foundation, I'm going to choose the Haus Labs concealer. I really do love this one. Mine is in the shade Light Neutral, number 13. I'm not going to pick another concealer. That'll be too much for my little brain to deal with. That'll be fine. And then a powder. I really want to use the Makeup by Mario loose powder. Mine is in the shade 2 Neutral Light. It's really soft and finely milled. I love that. And then I want to use the Huda Beauty in Cherry Blossom Cake. I love this pink one, especially for under my eyes. So I'm going to use that. Let's just pull a pressed powder. I'm going to use the Flower Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. Mine is in the shade L1 Porcelain. I think Flower Beauty has gone out of business, but I'd like to use this one as my pressed powder. All right, then we have this crazy drawer, which is one of my favorite drawers. So the first blush I'm going to pick is the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand, an easy liquid blush. I don't agree with that. In the shade Pillow Talk, this is a matte blush, and I wanted to mix it with a Hollywood Flawless Filter to give a bit of a glow. I don't enjoy the application of this one. I find this one is way too glowy for my preferences. They're both beautiful, but not quite to my preference. I don't like the application of this, and it's very pigmented, but I have been thinking about these ones, so I'm like, okay, that tells me to use them. So I'm going to mix those two and see how that goes. So I need another blush that I can use sort of as an everyday. I'm going to pick this red powder, shade Frankly Scarlet. Do you know what? I'm not going to use that. Am I? I kind of want a red one for Valentine's. Yeah, maybe I'll use that. I don't know. Yeah, that's very pretty. But I think I need, because of the eyeshadows I picked, I think I need a blush that's going to complement that. Don't I have a different one? So I think I'm going to use, oh, there's quite a reflection there. This one is True Harmony Glow Play Blush. I think that will work out nicely maybe with the Mob Beauty eyeshadow look. If the eyes are going to be my focal feature, then I think this blush will complement that palette and not compete. So I'm going to use that. Then I want a red one. So I think instead of that Frankly Scarlet, I'm going to use this Plush Pepper one from MAC, and it's a Glow Play one as well. So how does that swatch next to Frankly Scarlet? Oh, God, that's beautiful. Love that one. Okay, that's the one. Ooh, we're getting quite a lot of stuff in here. Now for bronzer. I really have to go through this. Sorry, guys. I'm not really feeling it, guys. I just can't. I'm starting to lose steam. What do I want to do for a bronzer? Oh, I got a new bronzer that I'm excited to use. MAC had a 30% off sale, so I got some skincare that I was going to run out of, and I got a MAC Skin Finish Sunstruck Matte Bronzer in the shade Light Golden. So this I'm going to use. Let's just take a look and swatch it. I didn't need another bronzer, but I'm loving MAC. It's one of my favorite brands. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, that's nice. That's not too much at all. Lots of times I find with bronzers, I'm choosing ones that are too deep for my complexion. That one looks like really natural. So we'll see how that goes on my actual face. It doesn't look like it'll be too orange there. And I think golden might be kind of nice with my skin tone, but we'll see. Okay, oh, I'm excited about that. Yay, that's perking me up. All right, so highlighter. I am getting very tired. Well, I already have this one as a highlighter, so I have a liquid already. I feel like using the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This one is a really good standby, super soft, really pretty, nice little glow, not too much. This one I like too. I use it almost sometimes as a finishing powder all over my face, just a light little dusting. Gives a nice little glow. And lips. Lips. I'm tired. Oh, lips. Again, a half easy one. Okay, so these are the lips. I have one easy pick here. This is themobbeauty. The shade is called Riff, and it's their lip gloss formula, and it's in a collab with Miss Megan Robinson, and it came out at the same time as her eyeshadow palette. So I feel like these are destined to coordinate together. So I'm gonna put that in there. So that's a lip gloss. Let's go with a lipstick. I want to do Flesh Pot. Flesh Pot by MAC. I saw on Facebook one of a MAC ad and it was showing a couple of lip combos. So I want to try that. Do I need a lip oil or a lip stain? Actually, you know what? I'm going to use this Kosas lip oil. This is probably getting close to expired. We'll use that. Now we need a lip liner. Okay, so I've got all my lip liners in a little jar, but with that Flesh Pot, the ad I saw used Cool Spice as a lip liner, so I want to try that for sure. And I think maybe I'll use MAC Whirl lip liner. I think that'll look good with maybe the Kosas lip oil, so we'll do that one. The other product to go with this lip combo, which is Cool Spice liner and the Flesh Pot lipstick, was the MAC Clear Glass lip gloss, which I have upstairs in my bathroom, and so I'm going to bring that down and we'll test out that combo. That's everything other than picking out a perfume. Okay, and the perfume I'm going to pick for the month is going to be the Commodity Milk Expressive. This is a deeper scent, and I feel like it's more of a winter scent. So I want to use this, get more thoughts on it, so I know if maybe this is a full bottle worthy scent that I might like at some point. So looking at this is way more high energy than I might have, but the way I'm looking at it right now is that I'm thinking about makeup more, which tells me that hopefully I'm more interested and have a bit more energy this month. So let's put it all away and then we'll do a full face. All right, so a mic would help. So I did a little bit here, only a couple things. I did the MAC Fix Plus Magic Radiance setting spray to rehydrate my face because it's been hours since I did my skincare, and the Refi Eye Balm, which is just a clear eye balm to rehydrate under my eyes because at 54 they're pretty dry under there. So I don't know if it was obvious during the Shop My Stash part, which for you was all the same day, for me it was yesterday. I was a little bit all over the place. I'm going through some ups and downs with my energy, some ups and downs with my stress level. I probably picked too many products that might take me a little more energy than I actually have for February, but some of this stuff is stuff I've been craving. So it doesn't matter, I think, for February how I'm feeling. I'm just gonna pick some stuff. I'm gonna do a color corrector. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Redness Corrector. How are you guys feeling? I know there's a lot going on, both in the world and personally for everybody. Sometimes for everybody, it affects your energy level and your mental health. And I know when you struggle with that stuff anyway, when you're chronically ill or dealing with those issues, that can just make things all feel a little too overwhelming. Maybe this is just the bit of distraction and comfort we need. I know I haven't felt like doing my makeup probably for most of January, and I haven't done my makeup in February so far, and I'm recording this, I think, on the 9th. All right, so I'm gonna use the Haus Labs foundation, which this I have been craving, this foundation, so that's the texture there. I got a new brush. MAC had a 30% off sale on their brushes, so I got a couple. I don't know really how to use this. I'm just gonna go for it. I've never used sort of a flatter paddle brush for foundation. Just gonna make sure that that's all worked into the brush. I like to start in the center of my cheeks because I need the most coverage there. I got a lot of veins or broken capillaries, maybe that's what you call them, on my chin, a lot of redness around my nose. Oh, this brush is pretty interesting to use, actually. I like that. Make sure I get that into my hairline so that it looks blended, I guess. Do my ears so my ears don't look a different color. And we'll go down the neck here a little bit. This isn't a bad color match for me. It's a little, I think, on the peachy side. I find with this foundation, a little goes a long way, like most products on my mature skin. That's looking nice. What do you think? Get nice and close. Woo, she's close. You can see pores and texture and everything, but that's normal for humans. Are you guys the same when your stress levels are higher and you're not necessarily taking care of yourself like you normally would? It really shows up in my skin when I do that. I do have a dampened beauty blender. I'm going to just tap that around my face to pick up any extra product, make it look not so heavy if I got a little overzealous with my application. That foundation has a nice finish. This was one of my favorite foundations, I think. I have so many foundations in my collection, it's ridiculous. I am going to do a declutter video. I have so many foundations that I haven't used them all enough to know exactly what I think of them. I need to focus on figuring out which ones I really like and deserve to stay in my collection. It's a medium coverage for sure, and I'd say it has a normal to satin kind of a finish, and you could manipulate that a little bit based on what primer you want to use underneath. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Color Corrector Eye Brightener. This is in the shade Fair, which is a pink. I know they have a new one out now that is in a wand. This one's in a pot, and it's very emollient. So I'm going to put that in the darkest spots under my eye. I'm just going to use my finger, kind of blend that out. Okay, so my right eye has the eye brightener under it, and the left eye has nothing. It's just a little bit of a difference. I could get away with not using concealer, but I like to cover up that dark vein I've got on the outer corner of each eye. There. Then we're going to go with concealer, and I'm going to use the Haus Labs concealer. So there's the the concealer there. I bought myself a concealer brush. This is the F5 by Makeup by Mario. It has, like, I'd say a kitten paw kind of a end to it. And I'm just going to pick up the foundation on the brush. I normally like using a sponge for my concealer or my finger. This brush is really a game changer. It's almost like sort of padded like your fingertip, but it gives you precision to get it in the areas that you want more so than what a sponge might. And it really blends it out. This actually is really nice and makes me want to use a brush for my concealer. I think that's a perfect amount. So this eye has the concealer or the eye brightener and the concealer, and this one just has the eye brightener. So I think that looks pretty good. It does a half decent job of, I mean, nothing really is going to cover that very dark black vein I have there, but I think that'll do. I am starting to wonder if I should try and get just like a little lighter of a shade of concealer to use under my eye. This one I think is a good match, which I like. I'm wondering what it would look like if I had just something that brightened my under eye a little bit more. What do you guys prefer? If you use concealer, do you like something that matches your skin tone, or do you like something that's a little brighter for under your eye? My thought is that if I have one that matches my skin tone and isn't too dark for under my eye, then I only need to buy one concealer. Now, you know, I have more than one concealer from different brands, but I've been doing a lot of testing over the last 3 or 4 years on makeup, and now I'm starting to realize what I actually like. There. That's a really nice creamy concealer. I think because I'm going to use MAC complexion products for the most part, they can be used, I find, over powder, under powder, and there's no real issue. So I'm going to use the MAC. So I'm not going to powder my face yet. I'm going to use the MAC Matte Light Golden Skin Finish Bronzer, and light golden is the shade. All right, let's see. Oh, that's a really nice shade. That's nice. And it's working well right over top of the foundation without setting it. Maybe it would be less chance of it being patchy if I had set it with powder, but I like to make sure I get the bronzer up into my hairline too, so there's no real line. Although my bangs cover it mostly, but I'm just gonna do a little bit in the crease of my eye. I don't think that's too much at all. I think that's a really nice shade. Next, I'm gonna use the MAC Glow Play blush in True Harmony. I love these blushes. They're squishy, really pretty colors. And I figure I'm gonna use the themobbeauty eyeshadow palette, so this look is gonna be more eye focused. So I didn't want anything that was going to compete with, for color, I didn't want anything that was gonna compete. I didn't want the cheeks to be too much, so I think that color will be really nice. It's sort of a beigey pink color, I'd say. Yeah, so I haven't done much makeup. January, like I said, was kind of an up and down month. Health-wise, I had a lot of migraines, and February's been pretty busy with other things. So I haven't had made the time or felt like I've had the energy or even really the interest to do makeup. I really miss creating videos for you guys. I enjoyed this process so much. But even yesterday when I did the Shop My Stash and picked these products, I wasn't in a great headspace. So I'm sorry if that came across on camera. So this True Harmony is just kind of a very natural kind of color. So I loaded up the brush to get some good color, and then we can soften the edges with the foundation brush again, and I can dull down the color if I think it's too intense for the look, because she's looking a little crazy on camera. I'm gonna do my eyes now, but I'm gonna set underneath in case there's any fallout. If my under eyes are powdered, it'll be easier to wipe away any eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake. It's pink, and I love this for my under eyes. It's really nice around my whole face too. So I'm going to try and get any creases that might have happened since I applied the concealer, kind of tap those out. And then just apply the powder to set everything, and then I'm just going to dust it away. So next I'm going to use the Mob Late Night Palette. It is a collaboration with Miss Megan Robinson. She's a makeup artist and content creator on YouTube. I'm going to pick this mossy green right here. That one is Taxi. Ooh, that's a gorgeous, gorgeous green. I love that kind of a green. Look at that green. It's got good color payoff. Mob packaging is cardboard based, so it's kind of easy to recycle. We'll see how it holds up. Sometimes I can be pretty hard on my products. I love a color like that with hazel eyes. I'm not breathing. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of that, whatever's left over on the brush, under my bottom lash. There's not very much, but I might add more later. I think that shadow's called Echo. Kind of a taupey gray almost. And I'm gonna put that in my crease, or just above my crease, because I have hooded eyes. So I'll try and do that a little bit above, so it actually looks like there's more definition there. Like, I'm so not relaxed. I'm gripping this, I was gonna say pencil, this brush, like I have a death grip on it. I don't do a lot of driving. I work from home. I usually don't have a ton of energy, and I'm very content at home. But anyway, my point is I had to do a lot of driving over the last couple of weeks, which is really uncharacteristic for me. 2 days later, my forearms were really sore. And I was like, was the dog pulling extra hard on the leash when we were out for a walk? Or why are my arms so sore? It's the driving. It is literally not only maybe how tense I might have been, but more so the the fact that I had to have my arms in that position for at least a couple of hours, I'm very weak, which is very sad. Ugh. So I need to make some better choices with my lack of exercise. I need to make better choices in my snacks and food. I have to stop eating my feelings. Anybody else like that? All right, what do we want to do now, Donna? I think I'm going to use this really pretty green here, which has a bit of a sparkle in it. Gosh, guys, I didn't even swatch these for you. I'll do that next. So the first one I'll do is Taxi, which was that green there, and then we'll do Reverb, which is the green I'm going to use next on the outer corner. Pretty. Echo is that taupey gray, and then Sneak is their Sparkle Bomb formula, which I'm not sure what that is. The other three are powders. Oh, that feels like a cream. Oh my, look at that. Ooh. Oh, wow. That just brings me so much joy looking at those colors. Like the mossy green, that's definitely a Donna color. The more emeraldy green with the sparkle is fantastic. The Echo, the taupey gray, and then that Sparkle Bomb. Pretty, hey? I'm going to pick up that dark green color, and I just want to put that in the outer corner of my eye. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, wow, that's pretty. I want to be able to see that when my eyes open, but I have no skill when it comes to shadow. Look at that green. I feel like I want to do that all over my eye. Ooh, this side's messy. That's okay. We're going to blend that out. I just don't want a harsh line there. I want that to be blown out a little bit more. And I'm just going to blend that edge there a little bit where those colors meet. So I feel like we've got a little bit dark there. All right, I'm going to use a little more of the shade Echo just to soften that a bit in the crease. Oh, those colors go so well together. I love that Echo color. Okay, and I want to use more of that Taxi color, the mossy green. Add a little bit more of that. You don't have to spend a lot of time building these colors up, it doesn't seem like, which is nice. That can save a little bit of energy. It also means, you know, for someone inexperienced like myself, maybe I'm putting too much on at once or something. Sometimes building up is more beginner friendly. Oh, I'm loving that. I know it might not be for everybody, and my skill level is very lacking, but I am loving this. Okay, next thing I want to try is this Sparkle Bomb, and I'm going to put that over top of that mossy green, that Taxi color. Oh my! Look at that. And I'm going to bring that all the way up. Scatter that out the rest. That looks so good. Sparkle can just make a day, you know what I'm saying? So what if my application's not great? That'll come with practice. But man, sparkle just makes me happy. That's awesome. All right, Mob Beauty, you're a hit. I want to go really dramatic. So I'm going to do an eyeliner, which is not my norm. Do I want to do a bronze or do I want to do a black? Why can't I decide? So that's the Makeup Forever in the shade 5 Bronze, which I don't know if you can really see. There's a little bit of shimmer to that one. And then there's the MAC Feline, which is a really nice black. Okay, I'm gonna go with the bronze. Okay, so I put the bronze in the waterline and I tight lined as well, my upper lash. That's what the bronze looks like, and that's the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil Aqua Resist color pencil. So I'm going to use the MAC Stack Elevated Mascara. I'm not going to use the lash primer because I just want to see how this smudges. I have to start paying attention to how things wear. I do like this mascara, like how it looks on the eyelashes is really nice. But I do want to add a tiny little bit of eyeshadow under my bottom lash. So I'm going to just take some of that mossy green. I'm going to use that Echo color, that taupey color, sort of use that under where I put the mossy green. Ooh, nice. I like that. Okay. We got to finish the mascara here to get the rest of this look going. Okay. While that dries, let's test out the MAC Fibro Gel Brow Gel in the shade Taupe. Is that what I said? Yeah. Oh, it's a cute little brush. So I just want to add a little bit of color, fill in the brows a little bit. I think that shade is going to work nicely for me. Yeah, I think I overdid it a bit, but and I got a little bit of, oh dear. Can you see the color I got going on there? That's wild, Donna. This is good, but my application is not so good. Let's get a brush and brush that out. There. Not too bad. So I had to take a little break and charge my phone. It might die again. This is going to be the third time I've done my lip. The first time I didn't have the mic on. The second time I didn't hit record. So I just want to go over, there were a couple of things I did. I added some Makeup by Mario. No, first thing I did was I took whatever was left over on my foundation brush and I tapped out just around the edges of where the blush was because it was a little too intense for what I wanted. I want the focal point to be the eye, so I just wanted that toned down a bit. So I blended that out a bit more. Then I took the Makeup by Mario setting powder and I dusted that over my face to set my makeup and add some longevity. Then I used the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. Flower Beauty, I think, no longer exists, but you can probably find their makeup, I think, like at the dollar store or other places, which you get a really good deal on. This powder is supposed to be like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder. And so to me, but a finishing powder gives a really nice diffused look after everything has already been set. And I liken it to kind of a magic eraser. So I use this just mostly on where I placed my blush because it toned down the color a little bit. The color's still there, it's just not as intense. That's what I did. Now, for the third time, for me, I'm gonna try the Mauve lip gloss in the shade Riff. And this was also in collaboration and came out at the same time as Miss Megan's eyeshadow palette. The doe foot is kind of interesting. It really hugs the bottom lip nicely. I think it's a really pretty pink. It's not too bright. I think it looks really nice on my skin tone. Sometimes I find some pinks can go a bit orange on my skin tone for whatever reason. I think that's super pretty and I think it looks so gorgeous and of course was made to complement the eyeshadow palette Color Story, which is so pretty. And I'm gonna use the MAC lip pencil in the shade Whirl. Sometimes I would put the lip liner on first, other times I might put it on afterwards. I just wanted you guys to be able to see what that color looked like on its own. I could feather out the lip liner a little bit, but I think I'm just gonna sandwich another layer of gloss over top. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the clips. I didn't put a setting spray on. Let's use the Milani one, Make It Last, because I only have a little bit left and I'd like to try and get rid of that. There, so that's the finished look. I think that's super pretty. I'm very pleased with it. For my skill level, I think that's a win. And I'm feeling much better than when I started. it feels good to have my makeup done. So let's go take a look at this in natural light so you can see what it looks like on 54-year-old skin in daylight. This is what the makeup looks like in natural light. We've got some late afternoon sunshine coming through and reflecting off the snow. I want you guys to see what makeup actually looks like. I'm 54 years old. I have wrinkles, pores, and texture. So this is what it looks like. I'm really, really pleased with how it looks. I love when things come as a set. So the eyeshadow palette, the colors, and the lip gloss, they were all meant to go together, and it just makes it so much easier for me if stuff is color coordinated and I don't have to think about it. That saves energy. Next time I would try maybe a different blush color, maybe something a little more pink. What do you guys think? Let me know. I may have bitten off more than I could chew for the month of February for my energy level. I think it's going to be a bit of an up and down month. We'll just wait and see. Let me know in the comments, when you have more energy, what's one of your go-to products? I'd love to know that. If you'd like to see what I picked for a low energy Shop My Stash, I'll put that video over here and I'll see you over there. Bye guys, take care of yourselves and be fibro fabulous. I'll see you in the next one.